So I was watching the Whatever podcast, and I love watching that podcast because it shows you how brainwashed these women are. And I love the solution that Andrew gives, and a lot of the things he says is spot on. Um, you know, it's very funny because the way I imagine my relationship going is very different, very different. Um, I watched a video where a guy was showing um, a woman talking about, or no, it was a man talking about saying no to his wife, and how all the ways he says no are actually the ways he says yes. And I agree with the guy showing the video. It's not manly. It's very emasculating how it all happens. So, um, I started thinking, you know, how would I say no to my wife once I'm married? And this is where things get very interesting for me because I'm very good at hypotheticals. And the type of woman I'm drawn to is a more logical, um, very sensible kind of woman who's very good at reasoning. So, keeping that in mind, and they do exist, I've met one, it's a negotiation thing. So, it's one of those things where she's going to come to me about something that she really, really wants. And of course, I want her to be happy. So, of course, I'm going to do my best to talk to her about how it's possible and why it's not possible. I don't believe in just saying a straight no and shutting down the conversation. I don't like the word no when it's used like that. So, um, I believe in giving the detail of why something's possible or not possible. If it's a personal preference thing, like, hey, she wants me to go to something that she wants to do, and it's not my scene, not my thing, I don't like it, well, it's going to come down to this. What memories can you make with that person at that place? See, you're an adult now. Acting like a child trying to get your way won't work. You don't throw tantrums anymore, you are an adult. So, how do you make it work? Well, it's either a compromise, those work, or it's okay, we'll do what you want to do, sure. And afterwards, you do what I want to do. Now, it may not need to be the same day, it could be a different day. Me being me, though, I would look at it this way. Okay, so she wants to plan the evening. She wants to go out and do something I don't want to do personally. Okay, I can make it work. Sure. See, because guys, we can entertain ourselves very easily. If we're bored or something doesn't intrigue us, we'll take like a rubber band or something to fiddle with, or to just have some fun, snapping it on someone's leg and pretend it wasn't them. Um, Guys are very playful like that, so we'll find a way to make ourselves intrigued. Um, but afterwards, hey, I don't mind continuing the evening. We don't have to go home right after. We can go to a restaurant, we can eat, or we can go someplace that we can both do something that we both enjoy. Um, See, in my video on relationships I did as a pastor, I talked about the balance between a man and woman in a relationship. I talked about husband and wife, and how it's important to have a relationship very similar to um, having a right dance partner. And I give a reference to the movie Take the Lead. Take the Lead is a good movie about finding the right dance partner. And in life, you gotta have the right partner for the journey ahead. So it made a lot of sense to me. And So when you're looking for the right partner to travel with or to do things with, to spend the rest of your life with, it's very important that you both have the same energy. Of course, you're looking for your better half too. Hard to find, especially in today's time. So when it comes to relationships and things like that of that nature, I would say that it's important to find someone you could actually spend time with, learn from. They learn from you. It's a balanced dynamic. It's not one of a selfish nature at all. Getting married is a commitment you make to that person, no different than dating that person. The dating trial period is what I call it, is when you're discovering if you're compatible or not. Marriage on its own is the commitment of I love you, you love me, this is what I want, this is what I want, we make it work, and the rest is history. So, for me, I'm going to add to that evening. Yeah, we'll do what you want to do, and then afterwards we can do this and this and this. Now, if it's the girl that I enjoy, if it's a girl I really like, obviously it will be. So I don't mind doing something that's a hobby that we both enjoy. You know, for example, I like to play pool. I'm a good pool player, so I don't mind us going someplace to play pool afterwards, or whatever. Now the girl I admire, she's a dancer. She does ballroom dancing. It's a skill set I don't have quite yet, but I want. So I like to collect art forms. You know about how they're dying out now, for example, blacksmithing. That's an art form, and it's dying out. A few other ones like manners, common sense, negotiation, communication is dying out. Um, Things of that nature. So I really enjoy collecting art forms. That's why martial arts, a few other things are very close to me. So if I'm dating somebody or if I'm married to somebody who loves to dance, well, of course I'm gonna learn that skill too, and we're gonna dance together. So it really comes down to finding common interests, find interests that you both will grow to love together, and you knowing who you married, knowing who you're dating too. See, I don't believe in just the no, let's not do that because I say so. I believe in the okay, I can see it's important to you. Tell me why you want to do it. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. I want to do it too. So, if there's something like, say, it's a vacation, it's out of our budget, it's not going to be a no. It's going to be, okay, let's save up. Let's work on something together where we can make it happen. When your partner sees that you are taking an interest and not just wanting to go with them somewhere or do what they want to do, but also you're going to help contribute to doing that, it means a lot more to them. And it will mean a lot more to you as well because you're building memories with that person. I don't believe in selfish actions when you're married. I don't believe in doing things that only you like. Otherwise, why get married? So, I never understood the couples that did the whole, no, I don't want to do that, so we're not going to do it. It ruins everybody else. So, they make one aspect about themselves when it's supposed to be about the whole family or the couple. So, I don't believe in that. I don't like it. I believe in making everybody happy if you can. And the thing about the kind of girl I'm drawn to is there's no manipulation, there's no secrets in the relationship, there's only trust and good negotiation where maybe she'll flatter me or say things, but I'm going to believe it because I'm not going to believe anything that she says that other people say. She's my wife, she's my girlfriend. There's a reason for that. I'm going to believe and trust her that she means it. If I don't trust that she means it, then why am I with her? You know? Seems kind of stupid. So it all depends on the approach and the tactic you want to use, but never in a manipulative way. That's the key. It's a way that you actually mean it. It's fully legit. You're not using something that somebody likes against them to get your way. It's simply showing the person how much this means to you that you're going to do this for that person. Or if it's a selfless sacrifice that the man's making and make the woman happy, the woman in good faith should offer up something to make it more suitable. You know, of course, it varies depending on the kind of man you're with, but the thoughtfulness of it. Um, it comes down to you guys being a partner, you guys being one and making each other happy. When you're married to somebody, you're serving each other. The man can still lead, yes, but he's supposed to treat his wife with respect, honor, and cherish her. And she's supposed to respect her husband. That's why early on you decide, do you both lead or do you take turns leading on certain circumstances? Because there's going to be things that pop up. If you got a daughter and a son, the man's going to take the son and teach the son how to be a man, and the wife is going to take the daughter and show the daughter how to be a wife and a woman and all these different things. So it's a trade-off in many, many ways. It's not just one person who controls it all. So I've always believed that marriage can only be as strong as the communication. A marriage can only be as strong as the negotiations and making everybody happy. Now, there's going to be some times where you can't make everybody happy. And as the man, you got to make the tougher decision. Why? Well, because throughout years of being a man, you have developed certain skills, such as decision making, making the hard choices, because guarantee your father taught you how to, or early on you had to learn it yourself. Women do it too, but to a different degree. Women, in my experience, have a hard time thinking about the overall factors. And they have a hard time thinking about taking everything into consideration. Some men struggle with that too, but the ones that have honed that skill tend to not be so careless or neglectful. So, what it comes down to is if the person is suited to lead. If you go by biblical standards, the man leads. That's just the way it is. If you don't want to take it by a religious standpoint, then yeah, whoever's the most qualified would lead. That's the way society would work. So, when you're picking the right person, you gotta make sure that they're the right one for the right reasons that you're wanting them for. Do I see myself fighting with my spouse? Yes, I think that my spouse and I will fight because that's common. Do I think that over time it will dwindle? Yes, because you're still learning about each other. Once you get accustomed to how each other thinks, feels, and acts, you can better prepare things. For example, you can avoid making them mad that day by saying something that you didn't know would make them upset, and etc. So, there's a lot of ways to it. It's just people make dating and relationships and marriage harder than it needs to be. It doesn't take much. It really doesn't. You just gotta listen to each other, put up boundaries, negotiate, and build the foundation you want to build. It's not that hard. It takes trust, loyalty, devotion, commitment, valor, chivalry, and mutual understanding, mutual respect, and you bond. That's what you do. These days, they want to tear each other down. They want to make the marriage something completely different. And that's not the way marriage was designed. It's a partnership. You are to be equally yoked. It's the way it works. If you're not, then who messed up? Did you marry the wrong woman? Or did she marry the wrong man? Or did you both marry the wrong people? You gotta make sure that you're with the right person. Someone that brings you up and doesn't just tear you down. It's very important in a relationship that you work with each other. If one of you succeeds, you both succeed. If one of you fails, you both fail. That's the way it works. That's why the money thing of who makes the most money does not matter, because it's your money. You both share it. That's the way it's supposed to work. A selfish marriage has two bank accounts, not one. A marriage not built on trust has two bank accounts, not one. So, if you want something that's going to last a long time, work on it. Build it. If she or he is not willing to build the same thing you are and invest the time, that's a red flag. And unfortunately, you don't see those red flags until you're married, because sometimes it doesn't come up when you're dating. Especially if you still have the energy and the passion to build it. It falls apart eventually. Unless both parties are willing to invest and put in the same energy. So yeah, I just thought I would make a video about that today because it was always on my feed. It's something that kept coming across. So I'm like, I want to talk about this. But yeah, that's how I see my life going with the right person. So I'm pretty sure that I'll pick the right one. And that's the way we'll talk. We'll negotiate. We'll talk about things and make sure to see each other's perspectives and be able to convey what we're feeling without it being used against us. Because that's not what I want to build. I want to build complete trust.